Hello and welcome to the Local Government Climate Change online conference. My name is Steve Waller. I'm Sustainability Advisor at IDA, the Improvement and Development Agency for Local Government, and it's our pleasure to host this online conference during this week on behalf of the Nottingham Declaration partners. If you don't know about us, then there's more details on the community practice. Please check it out. This is an event all about climate change and local government. So if you're interested in knowing what the impacts of climate change will be for local authorities and how they should respond, and an inkling into what is already established good practice for councils, then this is the right place to be. We've themed each day this week on a different topic within the climate change agenda. We're starting today, Monday the 23rd of February, by looking at adaptation. What the impacts of climate change is for local authorities and how they might adapt to this, creating more resilient local authorities and more adapted communities that they serve. Tomorrow our agenda broadens to look at carbon reduction. On Tuesday we shall be looking at how local authorities can reduce CO2 emissions from their own estate, and by that I mean from their own buildings and from the services that they provide. We're widening that on Wednesday to look at perhaps a more thorny issue of how to reduce CO2 emissions from within the wider community. This is how local authorities can work with partners to target particular areas where CO2 reduction will perhaps stimulate the easiest response and contribute to reducing CO2 emissions within the wider community. So if you're a council that's already signed up to the National Indicator 186, then Wednesday will be the place for you. On Thursday we're going international, drawing in speakers from outside the UK to look at some of the fantastic practice that's already happening in Northern Europe and further beyond. So we've got a whole range of international speakers. And on the last day, Friday the 27th of February, then we come back down to earth by looking at area and regional CO2 action. Now, if you're working in local government, you'll already know, as far as that's concerned, that regional bodies are already beginning to set the policy for climate change, and in some cases already providing support to the local authorities within their region. So that's going to be the way of the focus. My particular role this week is to chair the live sessions that take place each afternoon between 2 and 4 p.m. And by chairing that, it means helping to make sure that you get an answer to the question that you pose from the range of speakers that we've lined up, and perhaps in some cases contributing some of my own experience in this matter. We have lined up a fantastic array of speakers for each of the 5 days. If you've not seen that list, then you can download the programme, which is on the library part of the Community Practice website. Go to that and have a look to see what subjects on offer and what speakers are there to support it. But look, don't wait for the online part. This is something that you can join into whenever you've got a spare 15 to 20 minutes. You can join at any time during the day or night. So, pose a question, read some of the documents, look at the presentations we've mounted onto the site, follow a thread of the conversation, but interact into it some way, and use this week to the best of your advantage, really to answer all those questions you've never had time to ask before. If you've got any technical difficulties, then my colleague Dan McCartney is on hand to help with that. His email address and phone number are on the site, and there's a short video pitch from him as well. So my advice this week, happy hunting. Thanks for listening.